All right, so we're talking about CLI commands. So again, in our lab of CLI part 1, we'll make a little video to kind of walk everybody through it. So just want to do a quick run through. So you would just click start, do CMD run, and then here you go. And then I just want to show a couple things. So you can go down to the drop down little menu here. Again, depending on the version of Windows 11 you have, you go to settings, go to command prompt, and I'm just going to show you how to change the appearance a little bit. So here we can, have a little bit of color if we wanted to. We can also change the font size. So like an example, I'm going to make the font a little bit bigger. So this way, here we can see the font is a little bit bigger. All right. So by default, this opens up by our username. So this is the short version of my Windows user account. Okay. So we're going to focus on a couple of commands. So we're going to focus on CD. So I'm going to show you how to pull up the help. So if you do CD /?, this gives you the help. And you can hit any key and it'll show you some different ways of how to use this command. One of the things that Windows does not like is file names with spaces. So you do have to, you may, depending on the version, you may have to put the quotes over it. So maybe version Windows 11, you can do the spaces. All right, so basically the CD allows us to switch from one directory to another directory. Then our next one is MD. This basically allows us to create a directory or a folder. I mean, they're interchangeable. In the DOS environment back in the day, we called them directories. In the graphical interface, we call them folders. All right. So here they're just showing some different examples on how we can write this command. And, that's it. So then we're going to use the echo command. So this allows us to print a message on the screen. So we can do that. And then we have the last command we're going to talk about is the copy. This allows us to copy our data. So we have different switches. So in Linux, switches will be uppercase and lowercase will make a difference, and CLI does not make a difference for Windows. So there's some of the different help, some of the other different things. Again, you can go to my favorite website, SS64, to go to that. All right. So we're going to just do the lab together. So here we go. So we're going to type in CD space /, and that takes us to the root of the hard drive. So if we want to maneuver from places to places, we can do that. So, and then an example, again, we're going to make directories. So here you can see we have a couple of different examples of writing this. So we got MD because when we type in MD, this is relative past. So this is where are we sitting at right now at the prompt. So we're going to set off the root. We're going to call it the folder called data. All right. Boom. Not a big deal. So then if we're going to do that again, we're going to do data. And then we can write it as / off the root, off a folder called data. We can create CIS180. And then we can hit up arrow just for the sake of laziness, and also showing that you can up arrow and scroll through all the commands that you've typed so far in this current session. So we've made one folder called data. And then we're also going to talk about another command called root or type. So now I'm going to type in CD because I want to go into the folder called data. Or, well, actually in the lab says keep going. So let's, we're going to kind of follow it for a second. I just want to share something else real quick, which I'll share in part 2. So there is, I believe it is the command type, or no, tree. And then this shows off the root your path. So pretty cool. So then we can do tree /? And then you can see the full path, and you can see the files that are in each folder too. Kind of cool. So we'll try it out at the end, see how it looks. But that is something I did not show in class, but I want to show that because next week or next class period, I'll show that. All right. So we're going to finish doing the, and then from here I can do CD again, / data / CIS 180. Then, okay, let's try this then. There we go. I think it just didn't like it because it was halfway in the chain, so no problem. So there we go. So we do CD, and then we're going to do, again, we're going to do MD. So just showing again from the root of this. And then we're going to type in CIS 180 / PPT. And there we go. So if I do a dir, that'll show us the folders that are inside there. Cool. All right. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make one for lab. So I'm just going to go in here and type in labs. Again, if I do a directory, you can see we've got both of those in there. All right. So now we're going to do a CD / data / CIS 180 / PPT. And then we're going to use the word echo. So there we go. And then we're going to type in the word hello. So if we just do it like this is going to print on the screen. This is how when we do batch scripts, we want to show where we're at in our process, we can do that. And then if we do the greater than, this basically what's called a redirector. So we can redirect it to a text document. So this is a quick way to make some files. So we're going to make a data 1.text. All right. Then we can up arrow, change to 1 to 2, change it to 3, change it to 4. Why we're doing this so we can, when we work with the copy command, we can have some data sets in there. So now we're going to go from the root. Boom, we're at the off the root. So now we can again type in data. So here we're going to type in data txp, and then we're going to push that to there. So we're going to do again / data / CIS 180 / labs. And /. There we go. So, oh, I misspelled data there. Dang it. Why couldn't you guys be online with me and do this with me? Kidding. There we go. So, it's also important we should also double check our stuff. So again, we can up arrow, hit the and then go to 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So just to see if we're doing that, we can type in tree / ? And we can see that we can display the file name, so we can do /f. So we can do tree. We can do C:\data /f. And there we go. So we have off the root, off our data folder. You can see there we have our CIS 180 for labs and PPT, and then nothing for 181. All right. Perfect. All right. So our next step is we're going to make a folder in CIS 181 with the folder name of PPT. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we're typing the full path. We're including the hard drive, the root, and we're going to type in the whole thing here. So we're going to do CIS 181 /PPT. Boom. So if we up arrow again just to see, there you go. We see we wrote the folder. Awesome sauce. So now we're going to use the word copy. All right. So when we're looking at this, we're not using this part here. This is part of the prompt, so don't type in the copy part. It's not going to go very far. Well, I should just go in there and fix that to be on the safe side. This is just to kind of like let you know where the prompt you should be. So there we go. And then so now we're going to use copy. So as we go in here, we talked about the wildcard. So we have the asterisk, and then we have the question marks. So here we're just making an example of a way of copying files. So we have, when we're looking at these commands, like an example here, let me type this all out so that it's a little bit bigger to see. So we got data, right, /CIS 180 /labs. Again, I need to practice spelling. And then we got our data1.text. All right. Then we're going to do a space. Again, these commands are space sensitive, so we have to space. So then we got data. If you don't, then the commands don't work very well. CIS 181 /PPT. All right. So when we do this command, we're only going to copy one file at a time. So I guess, let's see. Did I not put them in the right location? Say yes. Lamp. CIS. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why on this computer. Oh. Okay. That should be my mistake. That should be the P. Probably from class when we were creating this, we were making so many changes that I didn't pay attention to that. All right. So now if I want to copy all 5 of these files, I'd literally have to do this 5 times, right? So if we wanted to do that, if we wanted to use a wildcard, so like an example, all these right here have one in common. They all have the same extension type, and they're only different by the 5th digit. So we got everything starts with a D. The second digit is all A's. Third digit is all T's. The fourth digit is all A's. And then the last digit is unique. Dot thing. So let's take this command and let's rewrite this. So I can write a question mark. So a question mark is a wildcard. So it means I don't care what's in there, one placeholder. So I can do that. And now, because I already copied this file, it's going to ask me if I want to overwrite. So I'm just going to say yes. And there we go. So now I've copied a file. So this would be like an example, copy and paste. So when we talk about this command, we have basically a couple components. We have the command, which is the copy portion. And then we have the where. So that's the where, the what, and the where. So we basically have command, where, what, where. Where is the data? What is the data? And where are we shipping it to? So this basically works as the same thing for copy and move. So we have to have all three things besides the command. So we got to have where, what, where. So there we go. So now this showed us we copied a total of 5 files, which is perfect. Then I could have done a wildcard because everything in there I don't care about. So what I mean by that is we want all the data. So then I could do that. And then again, because this already exists, we're just going to say yes. I'm going to say all. And now you can see. So yes, I'd have to say it each time, or I just say all, it'll just copy all of it. So again, we can do the star.star just means whatever's in this folder we want to do. So that would be equivalent to going to Windows and going into that folder and, and click Control A, select all, and then copy the whole content to a new location. So that makes sense, right? All right. And our next example is we want to do the files. So if we wanted to do the txt files, again, we can do just the same way. So again, we can change this. So if we had the txts and the txps all in the same location, we could do that. And then, boom, it will then ask us to copy all the files. So that would be a way of doing it. All right. So, and then under, again, we can do cd, again, C:\data CIS181/PPT. And we can do the echo. And again, hello. Doesn't have to be hello. You can misspell it, like an example there, I misspelled it. And then I'm just going to go in here and do one dot text. And there we go. And then here I made a mistake. We just basically are doing 2 and 3 and 4, and I did miss 3, so let's go ahead and get to 3. And there we go. So, and if I do a dir, there you see there's all the files. So now, if I wanted to move all the data files, I would just type in move, and so I want to move all the data files from PPT to data again. So we would type in. So this is a different concept. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just saying I'm at the location I want the files. So bring them to me. So again, here we go. I can literally copy and paste this as soon as I can finally Control C, because I'm not that smart today. And where's my CMD? And so again, we type in move data CIS181 / PPT / data asterisk TXP, because we didn't put them in the right spot, if I remember correctly, because they are in the 180. Yeah, we put them in the wrong spot. So, yeah. Well, anyways, actually, don't worry about that command. That one's kind of wrong. All right. So hopefully this helped you kind of see how this works. All right. I will see you in class or my office hours, whatever comes first. All right. Catch you later.